Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In our last class, I promised I'll be illustrating how to use VLOOKUPs, and here is the video I intend to use for that. So to create a VLOOKUP, look at this. In this table we have the ID, and each row in this table, which is a data record, is uniquely identified by a number in this column. So we have row number 1 to 10. Then each of them have their corresponding entries. So to create a VLOOKUP, I would like to here create something that I'll call names. So let me call that names, and okay, that's just, let me call this ID. So we should have ID and names. So the idea is once you choose an ID, it's gonna give you the corresponding name. But maybe I should move all of these. Let me move them out of that place for some reasons. It should be here so I can format efficiently. So now with this cell, I intend to have a drop down where we can make a choice from the list of IDs. How do I go about that? The first thing to do is to come down to your to your data. Under data, we'll have where we call data validation. So click on data validation. So what data validation does is it restricts values that we can have in this ID cell to a particular range of values. So from here, I'm gonna choose data validation, and it's gonna ask me for allow. So I'm not gonna allow any value. If you allow any value, that means anything can go in there. So for this, I'm gonna choose a list. So I want a list of values. Now it's gonna ask you which list you want to be there. So here I'm gonna choose. So for the list, I'm gonna choose between this and this. So these are the list of values I want to be allowed here. Now once you hit OK, you find out that there is this drop down. There's this drop down button that allows you to choose maybe number 5, number 3, number 9, whatever. So outside the range of values that we've specified that are valid for this, if you try to enter something like, let's say 14, it's going to return an error. Why? Because we've placed some restrictions or some conditions here which only says we only want to see the values between 1 and 10. So you could supply the range of values you want to appear there. So that's the first step. Now, because we already have this in place, I can now write a lookup function to retrieve whatever is here. So now this is the syntax. I'm gonna say equals then VLOOKUP. So once I say VLOOKUP, it's gonna give you the function signature. The first one is the lookup value. So what value are we looking up? I want to look up any value that I will find in this ID. So I'm gonna hit on this ID. You could also make it, you could restrict, you could lock it up with our dollar, which we already know how to do. Now the next stuff is going to ask you, where do I look for that value? So you could say look for this value in all of this table. So that's what the table array is talking about. Where do I look for that value? I want it to look for it here. Now looking at this, we can decide to also lock them, which is what I'm doing. So I'm locking them with dollars, and I'll do that for each of them, and also here. So what this table array tells us is the range of value we are looking for. So this is where we are looking for our value. The next, which is column index number, asks us which column index are we looking for. Of course, looking at our, when we look at our data, our table, we'll find out that we have this as column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, column 6, column 7. So what we are looking for happens to fall within the second column. So the value I'm going to specify is that it should look for that value in column number 2. So that's what that column index number says. So column 1, column 2, I'm going to enter 2 here. Now the next argument says true or false. So we are going to select false because we are looking for an exact match. If you're looking for a range of value, maybe you want to find something that is closer to what we have, you're going to specify true. But for this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose false. So once you choose false, you have false here. You can close that and hit enter. So what this does is it pulls the name associated with uh, ID numbers 9. If you change this now, because we have a drop down list, if you change this now to 5, it will change its value. So let me expand this so we have a better view. So it changes this to whatever value we have. And I'm going to end this video here so we work more on the rest. So just get this point for this, and that's what I want you to get for now. Thank you.